a nice rustic,
except for me and my monkey.
I guess, nice pair of boots. Tarzan and Jane, I guess.
What was your monkey's name?
I remember that.
And I guess apparently back in those days,
Name was gone.
we don't appreciate what a team effort it took to change a tire. It was quite a monumental task, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We almost had to spend the night there.
Yeah, it was a cause for celebration. I'm not sure if that's the flat or the stair.
What was your monkey's name? I forgot. What was your monkey's
Cheetah.
Cheetah.
Oh, Cheetah. Yeah.
The monkey's name was Cheetah.
Yeah.
From Costa Rica.
Here's one of my favorites.
Reminds me of Tiger Woods.
I'm not sure what Jenny's whispering in his ears, but I don't think it's sweet nothing. Probably wouldn't really want to know what he said on that.
Thankfully, I've forgotten.
Well, it's,
I didn't think that was scathing. You did so bad. Thank you. Oh.
and apparently, once they started dating, I don't think they had any friends because they had to take their own pictures. He's got a little thing in his hand to take the pictures with. So, I mean, if you had a friend, you could say, "Would you like a picture?" But apparently, that wasn't.
Everybody ran.
Remember when we saw that in clear mode?
This photograph's not real clear,
It looked like it was
but this must have been Christmas. And I'm not sure what this little twiggy thing is up here, but it's supposed to be mistletoe, but it's the saddest excuse for mistletoe. But as time went on, they did get together. I know that sometimes with Laura and I, it gets discussed that Laura has to carry all the luggage and stuff. But apparently I came across it naturally. I guess they're moving in and she's carrying all his clothes. He just got his hands in his pocket. So, honey, can you get the clothes out?
That's an officer in the making.
Do it yourself.
Colonel to general.
But I will say, they did finally get married
Yay.
and made a very nice couple.
That's beautiful. That one's
And
beautiful.
we're so glad they did. Happy 60th.
Good job, Jim Bones.
Thank you. So well.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Love you, Jenny.
I'm thinking back to somebody else wants to say something.
Scott might have a few words, I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe after a few of these.
Who's gonna pick these up so they don't get blown out? Someone's still over their clothes. Boy, it's good.
Mom, some of the good things I remember about hers, I remember especially Natalie making dinner in the evening. Mom would always sing and would sing show tunes. I learned a lot about music listening to Mom sing. She was really a good singer, and it always kind of puzzled me because I don't think I've ever heard my dad sing, except maybe in church. And I realized then why he doesn't sing a lot, because he has a very deep baritone. And Mom was also a great cook and always cooked very well balanced meals and served great meals. On one occasion, she did have hot pineapple. It's not a favorite of mine, but I've learned and adapted and learned how to eat that. And Mom's all.
I've got to interrupt.
Okay, please.
His way to eat it was to very quietly keep a napkin in his plate and he'd surreptitiously get the pineapple and put it in his napkin and fold it up and go put it in the garbage.
I've done that.
If you learn to eat warm pineapple now.
Yeah, I still don't like it. But I remember when we lived in Austin, when Dad was over in Thailand, that was a real tough time for our family. And I remember my mom, which she had never done before, because we always ate very structured, correct meals. On Friday nights, she would say we could have whatever we wanted. And we tested her and we said, okay, Mexican food. She made great Mexican food. So the next Friday night it was, all right, we want pancakes. And she made pancakes on Friday night. And every Friday night was, and we realized that was something she was doing to just try to make it easier for us during what was, kind of a difficult time with Dad overseas. The other nice thing about that time was every Sunday we had to get up and go to church. And Dad was very big on going to church. And at that time, I remember the first couple Sundays we got up and Mom got up and made her coffee and we didn't have to go to church. It's kind of like, wow, this is nice, no church.
You're not supposed to tell that.
It's a rules. But one of my best memories of Mom was I remember when Martin Luther King was assassinated, and I was living in Abilene, and I really had kind of a bad image of Martin Luther King. And I remember that I told Mom, I said, I saw it on the news, and I said, well, he was a bad man. That's why he got killed. And she said, oh no, he was not a bad man. He preached peace, and he tried to teach a message through peace. And that really caused me to stop and reevaluate my image of him. And that's something I really appreciated. And you were very good at thinking things through and evaluating, and I think you taught all your kids to do that. So I'm very grateful to you for that.
How nice.
Now Dad has a lot of interesting things that I remember. Some of them were just small, some of them were. But one of the things was we had a Trailblazer camper. The Trailblazer camper had a little globe. Dad was 6'2", and that globe was about 6'1". And he would go in and out of that camper, and he would hit that globe probably on every camping about 50 times. And he would be talking and boom, oh, where is it? Boom. And he'd say, well, I need to watch out for that. And we would sometimes just sit in the Trailblazer and just watch, there he goes, and we never figured out because he was good at fixing things, why didn't he just go to the store and get, a globe that was a little bit shorter. The other thing about Dad was I remember buying cars. He had 5 kids and he was on a captain's salary. I think you were a captain in Abilene, weren't you?
Yeah.
And
First time.
we had an old, what was it, Country Squire? Country Squire station wagon. And he rode that thing until it was just about, there was nothing left on it. And then it was time to, by golly, go get a new car. And so he loaded us all in the Country Squire, and I don't know how many dealers there even were in Abilene. Was there more than one? But
Yeah, there was 4.
There were 4. I don't think they had SUVs back then. So he had 5 kids, so there wasn't a lot of options about the car that he was going to buy. But I remember that he went to every dealer and he went back and forth and he looked at every car as if he had options. And he was going to check every one of them out. And I always figured one of the dealer was calling, going, okay, he's coming over there now to you. Let's put that price down a little bit more. And our old Country Squire, the globe was broken and didn't work. And I thought it would be so neat to have a little dome light that would work. And every car I got in and I said, oh, does this dome work? Does this dome work? And finally he said, Scott, why don't we just skip the car and we'll just buy you a dome light.
Oh, Scott, how do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. And I have to tell a story, and this is not at Tom's expense, but every parent goes through, and I'm sure John and Jim, you gone through this driver's ed. And this is an example of Dad's patience. In Austin, we were doing driver's ed, and I was in the back of the car, and Dad got in the front with Tom, and it was parked right behind the Trailblazer. And we get in, and it's very early in the driver's ed, and Dad says, okay, put it in reverse, and back up slowly. Turn around and look, and see where you're going. Well, Tom put it in drive. So he starts going forward slowly, and Dad goes, stop, stop. And Tom panics and puts his foot on the accelerator. Stop, 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 stop. Bam, the car hits the back of the trailer. And so we're sitting there, and Tom's got his hands gripped on the steering wheel, and Dad says, okay, put it in park. Turn the car off. And when he gets out, and we're both sitting in there, and I'm talking to Tom, going, wow, we hit that pretty hard. Yeah, I know I did. And Dad gets out and looks at it, looks at the trailer, and he gets back in, and I was amazed. I got back in, and he said, okay, put the car in reverse. When he entered, he did not lose his cool. It's very cool. Which I have to switch back to Mom, because on her driving, actually Jim tells this story better than I do. When we were living in Maine, Jim tells the story that Mom had her Newport, her Chrysler Newport. Jim was driving down the road, I think the speed limit was about 25. He said Mom barreled by him about 40 miles an hour. Shoom! And when he got home, Mom said to him, what did she say to you? I think you're going a little fast. But Dad also, I admired a lot of things about him. I remember when I worked at the bowling alley, I worked with a bunch of sergeants there. And one day they were telling me, yeah, your old man, he's all right. He came to the NCO club and he partied with us. And I said, really? And he said, yeah, he's an officer. He came and partied with us. He was even out there doing the bump. And some of you may not know what the bump is, but I'm sure maybe Dad didn't show us. But they were very impressed with that an officer went there and partied with the sergeants and even did the bump. So I thought that was really, really neat. And I think Dad taught all of us that you can be secure in yourself however you dress. You can go out with a shirt that looks like an American flag and a white belt and white shoes. And you can do it on an Air Force base and be very secure in yourself. But one of my best memories of Dad was when I was a senior in high school. One day we were getting close to going off to college, and we went and played tennis. And we came back, and Dad said, well, let's go sit under the tree here. He goes, why don't you go get us a couple beers? And I was like, a couple beers? I get to have a beer. So I went in and got the beer, opened them up, and came back and sat under the tree. And I have to admit, with the beer, Dad's wisdom seemed a lot more, very much deeper. But in actuality, that was a very good memory, and that's one of my best memories. And I just want to thank both of you, and thank you for a great childhood.
Thank you.
Got one additional item to tell.